Oh, excuse me, y'all. What's up, y'all? Sorry. Lord, excuse me. Child, we are here for Belle Collective, season 6. I believe this is episode 6. And then we're gonna get into this lawsuit because there is a new lawsuit where Carlos is being sued, Belle Collective is being sued, Selena and Leticia is being sued, and I still ain't figured out how Leticia got in it. But we're gonna talk about it when we get done with this good review. First of all, let me just say this. Carlos King, you gonna stop pissing on our leg and tell us it's raining. You know good and daggone well when you be sitting up there cheesing and giving us that good old grin. You know how Carlos got that full smile and we sitting there talking about, oh my gosh, this is the best season ever. It's so much gonna happen. So much is gonna go on. You guys are gonna love this season. Y'all know how Carlos be doing, right? Where he wants to act like all of the things that are going on. And this what you gave us? Because let's be clear, next week is the finale. Next week is the season finale for Belle Collective. So this is it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. It's all we getting. And you mean to tell me that y'all made this entire fucking season about Leticia, Latrice, and them damn text messages? You gave us a little sprinkle of Marie in this fake-ass love triangle that only lasted one episode. We saw one scene with Tambra and her, I guess, boyfriend. Hell, we got more juice off the new girl with her husband and their situation. It's alive. I'm here. I'm live. The comments are coming through slow. So if y'all are talking, I'm not ignoring y'all. I didn't see the comments. I only see like, so if y'all are talking, I don't see it. But yeah, this is live. It's not a pre-record. But I'm really sitting here like, this the best y'all gonna give us? This all we got? Because next week is the finale. And then it's the reunion. Tracy been drinking since 5 o'clock this afternoon, y'all. So I'm sure Tracy is good and drunk. So let's go on and get into this review. Because I got to the end of this episode and I was like, I could have had a fucking V8. Like, what the hell? So the ladies are still at dinner, and Leticia and Latrice are still beating this dead horse about the text messages and what happened at the house and who did what and how, the what, the when, the where, the who, the what. Like, I was just like, so then Leticia is gonna say, well, I just want to know, is there anything else that you feel like I need to know about my husband? Why? Why? Now, why? What could they possibly? If I am Latrice Rogers, there is absolutely no reason in the world why I would say anything to you about that man. I 100% understand why Tambra was on the side like, don't put me in this shit. I ain't got nothing to say. I 100% understand. Listen, we've already had that conversation before about the messenger being blamed, right? But in this situation, not only is Leticia going to get mad at the messenger, but she ain't going nowhere. I remember I had to have this conversation with a friend of mine one time. She used to always call me and tell me about what her man was doing. I went through his phone and I saw this, and this. And he said he was going left and I found out he really went right. And at one point I finally said to her, I said, if you're not planning on going anywhere, why are you torturing yourself? Why are you going through his phone when you know good and damn well no matter what you find in his phone, you ain't going nowhere? Why are you following him to figure out if he going left or going right? If you know good and damn well you're not going nowhere if you found out he lied. Why are you confronting people about what's going on when you know good and damn well you're not going to leave? Now, I'm your friend. If you just need to vent, then, I mean, that's fine. But I know when you know you're not going nowhere. At least not right now, you're not. So if I saw that man out in a restaurant having a whole date with another woman, I'm not saying shit to her. You know why? Because she already know. Leticia, you already know what your husband is or is not out in them streets doing. And I know that this whole storyline with Mandy, we don't know who lying. We don't know if it's a made up storyline. We don't know if it's a scheme set up by Todd to come to us with the bullshit. But let's just assume it's all real. Let's just assume that this is a legit storyline and this is exactly how this shit went down. Girl, you're not going nowhere. You said you already saw those messages from Mandy. So you must not have felt no kind of way about the messages. So don't let Mandy come to you now and make it seem like you're supposed to feel some kind of way about the messages. That's pretty much how I feel about it at this point, which means that 80% of this episode I didn't care about. Because 80% of this episode was about Leticia and Latrice having the same fucking conversation 3 times. They literally had the same conversation 3 different times. I don't know what else either one of them can say to the other one. Latrice done said what happened, or at least her version of what happened. Leticia done said how she feel about it. But Leticia, you told on yourself. I'm going to go ahead and skip to the end because I don't want to forget that I made this. I don't want to forget about it. You told on yourself, Leticia, at the end. When you and Latrice were outside by that pool having your one-on-one conversation, you told on yourself, my love. You know what you said? You know what you told on yourself about? You know what you said? You know what you said? I know what you said. You know what you said, my love? You said, me and you talk on the phone almost every day, and we talk about what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it. And y'all might not have read it this way. And if I'm putting 20 on 10, y'all tell me, say, really, B, I think you putting 20 on 10. But based on what we know about how these bells move in the shadows, I feel like you done told on yourself and said, yeah, me and Latrice, we sit in the background and we playing our shit out. Yeah, me and Latrice, we sit in the background and we figure out left, right, up, and down. That's how I took it. Now, I could be wrong. I could 100% be wrong, but that is how I took it. I took it as, yeah, I know me and Latrice got our shit going on, but baby, this is the up, the down, the in, and the out. Now that's how I took it. Because when you say, when we on the phone and we talk about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and then it's like she caught herself and then she started trying to talk around it. But that's how I figured. Because, right, exactly, Kim, especially after what we know went down last season with her, Latrice, Akeisha, and Soguchi, we knew you was on some bullshit. And we know that whole thing with Akeisha, we know y'all sat in the back room and had a whole conversation about how y'all was going to make that shit work out, break it down for Akeisha. But here's the reality of the situation. Y'all did all of that to get rid of Akeisha, and y'all got rid of the best storyline y'all could have had this season. Y'all got rid of the best storyline y'all could have had this season. Imagine if Akeisha had stayed on the show. Imagine if Akeisha had stayed on the show. You would have had a whole storyline about working through whatever the hell happened last season. Guess what else happened in the last couple of months? Akeisha done dropped a whole book. She has put out a whole book about her fertility journey with her and her husband, with them trying to have their kids. Now, I know for some people, it's not, a juicy, she's doing a tell-all story about her life as an NFL wife. No, but it's a storyline. She actually put out a whole fucking book. Because let's be clear, y'all got rid of So Gucci. Y'all schemed to get rid of So Gucci and get rid of Akeisha, even though they left on their own volition. Y'all created a space that made it so uncomfortable they didn't want to stay. And the best storyline walked out the door. I know a lot of people, JJ is extra. We know that. We know JJ is extra as hell, but JJ is entertaining as hell too. JJ is entertaining as hell. Girl, enjoy your game night. Enjoy yourself. And you know what else left when Akeisha left the show? Any storyline that's connected to Ferris Street. Because Leticia, you couldn't get it done. You couldn't get it done. Akeisha had actually opened up a business on Ferris Street. She actually owns property on Ferris Street. She's actually actively working with the city council to get that property redeveloped on Ferris Street. So the whole premise of why this show started, gone. Gone. JJ is hilarious. I follow him on social media too. He, other than the fact that he's a Cowboy fan and you know I'm a Commanders fan, but I love JJ. I think he's absolutely hilarious. Now, is he extra? Yeah, he's extra. But I don't think he was being anything. If you see him on social media, what you saw on the show is who he is in real life. Like, that is who he is. He's just a good old country Bama. And I don't mean that with any disrespect. He's just a good old country Bama. But I tell you what else he does. He provides for his family, and he actually does make money. Now, I ain't saying he's a multi-billionaire, but he makes good money, and they live very comfortable. They travel well. If you follow JJ on social media, they travel well. This summer they went down to, they were in was it Italy? Was it Italy or Greece they went to this summer? They did a cruise last year. They've been to Dubai. Like, if you follow them on social media, they do really well. He does granite. He does granite installation. So, like, people who want to redo their kitchens, he provides. He does the granite. People who want to do like brick. I don't want to say just brickwork, but like, you know, people who do like, if they redo their backyard and they do like the stone. You know what I mean? Not brick, but like, you know what I'm talking about, like the stoning type stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Kim. He makes money. Yeah, and that's been confirmed to me by people who live down there. They're like, oh no, JJ is the real deal. JJ, but he's not, he's flashy in the sense of you gonna see it. He not gonna necessarily gonna tell you. Like I said, if you follow his social media and when they went to Dubai, I knew then, I said, oh, wait a minute. Because they stayed in this real nice suite when they were in Dubai. I mean, it was a beautiful suite. And like I said, last summer they went to, I want to say they went to Italy. They were down in Italy last summer. Marble and granite contractor. That's it. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, baby. A marble and granite contractor. So, and they say that he makes money. Like, he is legit. But they said that Teresa's husband, Zaddy, child, I can't think of the man's name right now. Cliff. They say Cliff has a good business, but they're not in these flashy businesses. You know what I mean? They're not in this flashy stuff, but they have their they say Cliff makes good money. And I think he does landscaping. I think Cliff is in like landscaping and stuff. And I was told that he makes good money. But at the end of the day, the ladies left there and they went back to the house. They basically went to bed immediately, went to bed after that. And then the next morning we see that Leticia really did stay in Marie's room, child. She really did not sleep in them bunk beds. But honestly, again, they're still having the same conversation. Marie and Leticia are talking about Latrice. And Latrice was talking to Selena and Tambra, and they were again, it's the same. It's wash, rinse, recycle, or whatever the shit is. But it's the day of Latrice's brunch. Leticia, child. Y'all know who I'm talking about. It's the day of her brunch. Now, the one thing I am going to say about these Jackson ladies, baby, they ragged. Baby, them ladies, listen, them ladies showed up and showed out. Do you hear me? Those ladies showed up and showed out. I absolutely loved Selena's dress. That like aqua blue with the bows. Baby, Selena looked good. Do you hear me? Those ladies, no. The sad thing is, in my opinion, the worst dressed at the brunch was fucking Leticia. Leticia's suit was all right. Leticia's suit was all right. You know, I'm sure it was comfortable for her. You know, but Tambra's dress was beautiful. That yellow was really nice. Like I said, Selena did it for me. I'm sorry, she won for me, baby. That dress was everything, and then she had her fascinator. She looked good. Marie is Marie, child. I'm not. Baby Marie is Marie. But her outfit actually was kind of cute. It was actually one of her better outfits this season, if I'm being honest. It was actually one of her better outfits this season. But at the end of the day, we go to the brunch. And even the brunch, I felt like it was the same thing. Rinse, wash, recycle. She got up, she talked about the relaunch of the brunch and how great it was for the sisterhood and entrepreneurship and what it is she's trying to do. And then she invited the ladies to come up and speak, and they did. Carrie gave a speech, baby, and her eyelash stole the show. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not gonna laugh too much. Cliff has state contracts. Yeah, I know Cliff. I heard that Cliff makes good money too. Um, Let me tell y'all something. As somebody, if Abby were in here, she would tell y'all, baby, Abby has tried to get them eyelashes on me. And I actually let her put eyelashes on me one time. I believe it was my birthday one year. She did my makeup and I let her put them eyelashes on me. And let me tell you something. By the time we were in the car on the way home from that restaurant, we went out to eat. By the time we were in that car on the way home from that restaurant, baby, I couldn't yank them things off my eyes fast enough. I couldn't yank them things off my eyes fast enough. You know what? I did eyelashes another time too. Again, it was a birthday. It was a birthday. I got my makeup done that time too. And the person who did my makeup put the eyelashes on. Baby, I couldn't get them. The next morning I woke up, the eyelashes was on my pillow, about scared the shit out of me. Okay. So I'm not even gonna laugh at the lady for them eyelashes because I feel like she probably don't wear them regularly. Because the fact that she could not feel that eyelash just flapping while she was trying to give her little speech, honey. I hate lashes. My besties made me do it for her wedding. Yeah, I get it. Everybody's not a lash queen. Okay. But for the most part, it looked like the brunch was successful. It looked like it was nice. Yay. Now the challenge is, Leticia, keep it going. Don't only do brunches when you filming. If this is really what God called you to do, you really feel like this is your passion, you really feel like this is part of your life's work, then show me that you really mean it and it's not just bullshit for this show. Then you need to be doing it when the cameras aren't running. How about that? But okay. So the ladies get back to the house after the brunch, and I'm gonna give Carrie an A for effort. I feel like Carrie really, really, really tried to plan some cute things, some nice activities. Marie, Marie, Marie. Doesn't she do something with the? She's a bail bondsman, but she's the one that says on the show that she feel like this is what God has called her to do, and this is her life. She said it. She said it. Let me say something, Marie. I understand. No, I'm not. Nope, I'm not even going to give you that out. I'm not even going to do it, Marie. I think it is so rude that I get that people can be finicky eaters. I understand that. I am a finicky eater. As fat as I am a very finicky eater. My problem is I eat a lot of fucking junk food instead of eating real food, okay? And when I've gone to nice places where they try to fancy up the food, and I'm like, damn, why you gotta be so fancy? Can't I just get something real plain Jane? What I was always taught, because I was taught manners and I was taught to be polite, that you try. Even if you just put a little bit on your plate, you try. Especially if somebody has gone out of their way to feed you, you try. Marie, you're not going to sit here and tell me. First of all, Carrie reached out to her in-laws and they cooked y'all a homemade Creole dish. You had gumbo. I didn't know what all those other dishes were, but it looked like maybe some macaroni and cheese, maybe a rice. I don't know, but I did see the gumbo. And I'm not a big gumbo person because I don't like all the stuff that's in a gumbo. I don't. And I know some people be like, oh my gosh, if Lovely Nola was in here, we'll probably give her a heart attack. But when Lovely Nola came to the hotel, she bought me homemade pralines that her mother-in-law made. I'm not a big praline person. I'm not. But I ate them. I thanked her and I appreciated it. Now, did I eat the whole thing? I couldn't eat the whole thing. Oh my gosh, they were so good. They were so rich. But if somebody goes out of their way to do something for you, you accept it. If she had bought gumbo, which at first she said she was going to bring some gumbo, I would have ate the gumbo. Now, I might have had to eat around some of the stuff that I didn't particularly want to eat, but I would not have been rude and not even have tried. For you to get on your phone and order you some mother freaking Uber Eats and order a goddamn pizza and some breadsticks, I think that was the rudest thing, especially while y'all was still eating. Now, I could see if you ordered it later on after y'all had eaten and after y'all had gone through the whole thing. I could see if you ordered some food later on. I get that. I get it. I get it. But I just felt like in the middle of while everybody else was eating, because they were still sitting there eating. In the middle of everybody else eating, you done ordered you some food. And I honestly feel like you were determined to not even try anything that Carrie was trying to expose y'all to. You didn't want to try the crawfish. Again, Carrie's presentation of the crawfish, not that great. She had her mother and her mother-in-law cook for y'all and bring the food to the house. The night before when y'all went to the restaurant, you complained, is this all we gonna eat? Oysters, that's it? Ugh. You got a whole restaurant there with a whole fucking menu. You could have ordered whatever you wanted, Marie. If you didn't want the oysters, and that, I don't think that was all they offered y'all, but let's just say that was. Girl, there was a whole menu there that you could have said, well, look, I don't really do the oysters. Can I get a menu? Girl, it's just rude. Or Real Housewives of Atlanta, what happened was Candy ordered some food, but she didn't ask anybody if they wanted anything. That's because she said she was hungry, but it wasn't because there was food there that Candy wouldn't eat. It's that it wasn't enough. No, Kenya ordered food. And she didn't ask if anybody else wanted any. That's what it was. That was a little different. Because that's rude too. If you're in a group of people and you're gonna order something and have it delivered to the house, how much does it cost you to say, hey y'all, I'm getting ready to order something. Do y'all want anything? So Marie, you are showing that you try to act like you got all of this, home training, but that was just rude. And I don't know if that was specifically because it was Carrie or what. But anyway, Carrie, did y'all see the black girl vitamins? I said, go ahead, Carrie. I see you giving them ladies them black girl vitamins. I see them. I see you, girl. I see you. Anyway, the other thing I got beef with you, Carlos King, is this. I've said it before. This wash, rinse, repeat. Right. And it was Kenya's trip. Right. That's what made it even worse. That wash, rinse, repeat storyline. How many times we going to see a lemon squeeze on these reality shows? The first one I remember seeing was Dr. Jackie, season 1 of Married to Medicine. No, it wasn't season 1. Anyway, one of them seasons on Married to Medicine. Maybe it was season 1. Shit, I don't remember. And she bought the term lemon squeeze because she said that's what her and her sorority used to do when they had issues. They would have a lemon squeeze. I feel like we have seen 20,000 lemon squeezes. Now, all of them do the sit down, let's talk about it. But you can change the name. You don't have to call it a lemon squeeze, because every time I hear the term lemon squeeze, all I think about is Dr. Jackie and Married to Medicine. And like I said, I have seen and heard people use the term lemon squeeze at least on 2 or 3 other reality shows. Can we retire the term lemon squeeze? Carrie, I think the pajamas were cute. You got everybody pajamas with the little lemons on it. I thought that was cute, right? Carrie, like I said, I'm giving you an A for effort, girl. But why are we still talking about Latrice and Leticia? So now we got to have another conversation about them clearing the air. Shut up, Ravine. I'm just like, so now Marie talking about, see, if that was me, I'm not checking my friends. I'm going to the husband and I'm going to check him. And you would have been out of order. You, if she had gone to Glenn and checked Glenn, she would have been out of order. You don't have that kind of relationship with Glenn to check him about a motherfucking thing. So you mean to tell me if you had found out that Glenn was cheating on Leticia, you mean to tell me you wouldn't have went to Leticia? You'd have went to Glenn? To do what? To do what? Either you gonna tell it or you not. It's so funny. I paused like that because as I was talking, I realized that I ain't gonna tell y'all the story because I can't tell y'all the whole story. But I am gonna say this. I owe Marie an apology because as I was saying that, I realized that I have done that and I was wrong. If I had it to do all over again, I wouldn't have handled it the way I handled it. But I did exactly that. I had a situation where I knew about the guy and I did go to the guy. But I'm gonna tell you, I think I told y'all this before, but I went to the guy because I was like, either you gonna tell it or I'm gonna tell it. I did go to him and I confronted him because I didn't know it was true. I didn't know if it was true or not. And I wasn't in between 2 friends. It was a friend and it was him. And I did have a relationship with him. Like me and him we were friends. So I went to him and I was like, listen, you cheating on my friend? Either you gonna tell it or I'm gonna tell it. Because again, I knew coming from me, it wasn't going to hit the same way. So I kind of do owe Marie an apology because I feel like that's what Marie was kind of saying. So let me take back what I said. I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take back what I said. I'm going to take back what I said. But if I had to do it all over again, I would have handled it differently. Yeah. I would have handled it differently. I would have. So I can admit I checked myself. I checked myself. What did he say? Well, he tried to lie at first. He tried to lie first, and then I was like, I don't believe you. Like, this person gave me this information, and I believed them. And then he admitted it, and I was like, I tell you what, either you gonna tell it or I'm gonna tell it. And here's the reason why I say, so I'm telling y'all too much of my business now, but here's the reason why I say I would have handled it different. If I had to do it all again, I would have handled it differently, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because even though I believe he had the conversation, I don't believe he told the truth. Does that make sense? But at that point, I had given him the power. So then at that point, I couldn't double back to my friend without explaining, yeah, I knew, and da 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 da. And then I'm right back where I didn't want to be. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because once he said, yeah, I told her, and this is how the conversation went down, now I'm kind of stuck with believing him. Because how do I come back around now and say, so what did he tell you? And well, what did he say? Because now I'm right back in the position I didn't want to be in, which is I didn't want to be the messenger. Because if he gave her a bullshit story, I'm still the messenger. You feel me? And then there's the extra layer of her being mad, like, well, you knew and you ain't say shit. So, yeah. If I had to do it all over again, I would, knowing what I know now, I would definitely have handled it different. But anyway, it is what it is. Sometimes that's the other thing too. When you make decisions, you gotta live with those decisions. Because sometimes, yeah, you gotta live with those decisions. Yeah, play again. Yeah. If I had, that's not the same song. Never mind. I was start singing Faith Evans, and I was like, that ain't the same. That ain't the same song. Come on. But moving right along. So then Carrie brings the psychic or an intuitive, whatever word, I don't know. Medium. She said she was a minister medium. Now, I have never heard that term before in my life. I don't know what a minister medium is. I don't know what that means. Let me say this. Whatever you believe is what you believe. However you feel about these things is how you feel about these things. This is what I believe. I believe that there are truly some people in this world that have a gift. I believe that there are really truly some people in this world that are seers. I believe that there are really truly some people in this world that have, what's the word I'm looking for? Because I don't want to say powers. I don't like that. I don't want to say powers. Do I believe that everybody that claims to have it has it? No. But I do believe that there are people who really truly do have those gifts. The problem is, how do we know who does and who doesn't? Now, I think Selena asked a very valid, prophetic, there you go. I think Selena asked a very valid question when she said, hey, production, have y'all told her anything about me? Because now I will say this. I feel like in the beginning, she asked a very open-ended question. She was like, has anybody in here suffered a tragic loss? Hello. But as she continued to talk, there were some things that hit people. Now I'm gonna say this, and Latrice actually said this, and I think Latrice is correct what she said. She said some of that stuff you already know, but it helps when you hear it from somebody else or it's sort of confirmed by somebody else. I feel like the people who chose to participate got whatever they needed to get out of it. Selena opened up about her son and her father, I believe. Latrice opened up about her father. Carrie opened up about an aunt that took her own life. And I feel like people get out of it what they needed to get out of it. Whether it's really truly coming from the loved one, I mean, that's not for me to decide. That's how I feel about it. And for the people who didn't want to participate, they didn't participate. I love that they didn't. I love that they did not try to take anything away from that moment for the people who wanted to participate. Right? At least we didn't see that. Right? Tambra stayed quiet. Marie and Leticia sort of stayed quiet, and they let Selena, Carrie, and Latrice have whatever moment they needed to have. Latrice wasn't going to participate, and then she did as she saw Carrie and Selena's interaction, right? I believe if they say they have the gift, they really have the gift. I think it's the same with empaths. No empath is like, I'm an empath. I hear you. I hear what you, and that's why I said, like, I feel like I'm not going to condemn anybody who chooses to participate. And I don't, and if I were in a position, and I probably would have participated. I told you guys last week I went out to dinner with a subscriber who has the gift, and he gave me a reading, and some of the things he said sort of hit, you know. Yeah, and I just think you take from it what you need to take from it, and you process how you need to process it. Yeah, I sometimes feel like I'm one, but I don't know for sure. I just know that I'm normally where some of my people need me to be. There you go. There you go, Kim. There you go. Now Leticia should have asked about Lil Boosie. Now, after all of that, Latrice takes Leticia outside because they need to have another one-on-one to have the same fucking conversation. And basically what Latrice was trying to get out of Leticia is, look, girl, where do we stand? Like, we done been through all of this. We done had the conversations. I done said what I said. You done said what you said. Really be, have you met most of your friends on YouTube? No. I have met people on YouTube that I've become friends with, but not most of them. No. I feel like Latrice, and y'all don't let me forget that we got this lawsuit to go over, because we almost done with this review, and then we're gonna go over this lawsuit, child. I feel like that's all Latrice wanted to know. Girl, where do we stand? When we leave here, what's going on? Where do we stand? Where do we stand? And Leticia basically was like, I don't know. I mean, we cool, but we not the same. Okay, whatever. We knew that 3 episodes ago. Now, Carlos King, once again, Carlos King, hey, what is up with you taking these people on these trips and they can't stay until the morning? You had them ladies put on pajamas and sit on that couch for 4 hours. They had the pizza man come through. They done had Carrie's in-laws feed them. They done had the intuitive come in. They done cried and shit and snotted all over each other. Then you done had Latrice and Leticia go outside in them damn pajamas and film a whole nother scene just to make those motherfuckers go upstairs, put their clothes on, pack, and kick their ass the fuck out that Airbnb. They couldn't stay till the morning? Because let's be clear, there's a checkout time on the Airbnb. If you already there at 7, 8 o'clock, it was dark, so you know it had to be after 5. Even if it was daylight savings, it was after 5 because it was dark outside. You mean to tell me you couldn't let them women go to bed and get up in the morning and get their asses the hell out of there? Even if you made them pack the night before and put everything on the sprinter so it'd be ready to go, because you know them Airbnbs, you got to be out of there at 10 in the morning. You know how they do. But even if, because you're not getting any different, like the money is the same. You've already stayed a whole extra day. Why did y'all make, I said, you got to be fucking kidding me. Y'all really made them women go change their clothes, pack, and get on the damn Sprinter van to go home? You didn't, Ravine, you didn't see them pack that night and leave? It was dark outside. It wasn't the next day. It was that same night. Right. You didn't have to let us know that. You could have just been like, the ladies went to bed, and that could have been the end and scene, because that was the end of the episode. But y'all know they did the same thing to Love and Marriage DC. Remember when they went to Massanutten? When they went down to Massanutten? Everybody, I talked to everybody. Well, I didn't talk to everybody on that trip, but I talked to multiple people from the Love and Marriage DC cast, and they made them leave that night. I said, you mean to tell me they didn't let y'all stay till the next morning? Now, what they said was, well, we were getting along. We were having too much fun. It was no drama. So they basically told us we had to go home because we wasn't giving them no drama. We were all getting along. I said, you mean to tell me they made y'all motherfuckers leave I forgot what time, so I don't want to make up a lie and say what time it was, but it was dark. It was dark. I said, y'all gotta be kidding me. Because remember, I know this was years ago, so y'all probably don't remember. But remember, Joy and Cliff weren't even staying at the house. So after they had that big confrontation with Joy and Cliff and the Duncans, Joy and Cliff left. And from my understanding, everybody was getting along and having a good time. I talked to Sherelle, she said it. I talked to Jamie and Raina, they said it. I talked to Winter, she said it. They were all having a good time. They were dancing and doing karaoke and everything. They were getting along. And production was like, oh, well, we shutting this down. Like, it's nothing left. Basically, we don't have nothing else to film. Y'all can go home. Now, they said they had the Sprinter come and get them. I mean, just like them ladies, they had the Sprinter come and get them. But I was like, that's got to be some bullshit right there. To me, that's some bullshit. Why can't they stay, even if it was 8 o'clock in the morning? Why you can't let them people sleep? Anyway. But see, that's that bullshit. Because again, you're not saving any money. Well, I can't say you're not saving any money, but it's not significant. You ain't saving no significant money. Really, we need to have a live where we can get in your business and ask you about your life. Why? I feel like I share enough of my life with y'all. What else y'all want to know? I tell y'all a lot of my business. If I ain't said it, I probably ain't gonna say it. What you want to know? Which couple did you interview a while ago from that show, Really Be? I interviewed Winter and I interviewed the Duncans. Did I ever interview Jamie and Arena? I've talked to all of them. I talked to all of them. Well, I ain't gonna tell y'all my business, but I talked to all of them. I mean, I have talked to all of them, and a couple of them I have their phone number. I could call them now. And the last I heard about that show, the last I told y'all was they were supposed to start filming last January, and allegedly they had 2 new couples coming on, but they never heard anything more back from Kingdom Reign. They were told that the show had gotten renewed, but they never heard any. And the last I talked to one of them, I ain't gonna say who. The last I talked to one of them, they said they hadn't talked to Carlos in probably a year. Yeah, because I said I wanted to interview them, and he watched my reviews. And what's funny is I'm still cool with them. Sherelle is doing very well. Sherelle Duncan. I don't know if you guys don't follow her on social media. She is doing very, very well. She's lost over 100 pounds. She's gotten really into doing her fitness. And she is now on the radio here. She actually took she didn't take Monique's job. Y'all know Monique left the radio station at WPGC 95 here in DC. Monique left that job. And Sherelle, they did, like they do where they bring people in as guests. They let them come in and be guest DJs to see their the chemistry and how well they get along with everybody. So they brought Sherelle on a couple of times, and then they hired her. So she's been working at WPGC. She's been working for probably maybe about 6 or 7 months. She's been full-time at WBGC. She does hosting and stuff like that now. She's doing very well. Very, very well. I've talked to her a few times. I've actually seen her out and about a few times too. And I've talked to her a few times. But she's doing very, very well. Yeah. Everybody seems to be doing well from the show. They're kind of doing it. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Jamie and Arena are doing really, really well. They're doing a lot of hosting. They are definitely what's the word I'm looking for? They are definitely socialites in DC. And if the show had come back, they're doing so much. They would have so much content. They have a wine where they've been asked to be spokespeople for this particular wine. I and I've seen them different places. Jamie has continued to do his mental health organization. It wasn't just for the show. He has continued. He's linked up with some therapists, and he does they do a podcast on, I think every Wednesday night they go live on Facebook. And his organization, matter of fact, he just spoke, I want to say he just spoke last week at a high school dealing with mental health. Irena just spoke earlier this week at Trinity University. She spoke to a group of teenage moms because she was a teen mother, which I didn't know that. I knew she had a child before her and Jamie got married, but I didn't know she got pregnant at 16. So she said, I knew what it was like being 16. So she's done that. And they've just been, they are out there. You hear me? If you follow their social media, they always have something going on. So they're doing really well. Ashley and Quick are doing well. Quick is still DJ Quick. Their son is graduating from high school this year. And yeah, Winter got married. She's doing well. She's having a Friendsgiving event, and I wanted to go, but it thing sold out before I got a chance to buy my tickets. I was like, oh well. But yeah, but she's doing well. So anyway, I think that the show would have so much content. I mean, think about it. Well, Winter wasn't coming back. She was not coming back. But let's say if she was going to come back, she had a whole storyline with going through her divorce, falling in love, getting married all over again. Her daughter has gotten married. That probably wouldn't have been on the show, but Anyway, child, we talking about a show that's gone. Anyway, so let's get into this lawsuit, y'all. Let's get into this lawsuit. So let me go ahead and say now, before we get into this lawsuit, I don't want to say a trigger warning because I think that might be a little dramatic to be like trigger warning. But the lawsuit does deal with grief and Selena's storyline with her son. So I want to just let you guys know that I'll be as sensitive as I can be as I'm reading through. But I just want to let you guys know that. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Y'all about to make me cry thug tears. I opened up my email, and when I get a notification every time somebody sends me something. But can I tell y'all that I already have 3 emails from people saying, hey, I know somebody that could use that Thanksgiving basket. No, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have gotten 4 emails already from tribe members saying, hey, I know somebody that could use that basket. We're going to bless some people this Thanksgiving, y'all. We're going to bless some people. All right, let me open up this lawsuit. I'm sorry. Look, I got sidetracked when I opened up my email, and I was like, my gosh. If you weren't on my other channel earlier today, you don't know what I'm talking about. We're going to be, thank you to the tribe members. We are going to be sponsoring some Thanksgiving baskets for some needy families. So if you guys know, those of you that are here right now, if you either want to sponsor a basket, no problem. Kim, I can repeat it before we get off here, but I'm going to do a whole live. I'm going to do a whole live on Sunday. But what it is we're going to be, the baskets are $25. We're going to buy them through Amazon. So if you know somebody that is in need, a family member, a neighbor, cousin, I mean, not cousin, but yeah, I said family member already, but you know what I'm saying, co-worker that either they're just their need. I mean, there's no stipulations that, that Thanksgiving is going to be tight for them. Just email me. As of right now, I need at least an address because this is through Amazon. So I would need an address to send it to. And you don't have to give me their government name as long as they know it's for them. I mean, if you want to just put the Joneses or whatever, you can do that. And again, I haven't had a chance to really look I'm looking for it now, Tracy. I'm opening it up now. Just for anywhere, Kim, because it's through Amazon, so I can mail it anywhere. I'm sharing my screen now, Tracy. That's what we're doing. I went into my email and I got sidetracked, child. Yeah, it could be anybody, Kim, anywhere where Amazon delivers. And just again, I'll have all of the information because I haven't had a chance to really look at that link yet that Tracy sent me to get all of the stipulations. But once I get it, we're going to do a live on Sunday. At that time, I'll let you know. Oh, there go Tracy. Tracy. At that time, I'll let everybody know all of the details, and then we'll move accordingly from there. All right. But let's get into this lawsuit, honey, because this Carlos is everybody being sued. Let's go. Let's get into it. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Let me take this down so you guys can see it. All right. So this lawsuit, for those of you that are like, what lawsuit is this? This is the lawsuit. Let me see. This is the lawsuit where the people, they suing this woman by the name of Christy Smith is suing Discovery Communications LLC, Harpo Inc., which is of course the OWN network, Kingdom Reign Entertainment LLC, Selena Johnson, and Leticia Pearson. I have a question, and this is a legal question that I do not know the answer to, but we already know. What up, Shade in the City? Hey, boo. I thought about you today, too, because I was trying to decide if I wanted to go out there, if I wanted to take myself to dinner after work, and I thought about you. I said, maybe I should call Treese and see what she's doing, but I decided to bring my ass home, child. Yes, I do have PayPal. I have PayPal. I can give you my email because my PayPal is through my other email, so it's not through RB the podcast. It's through this one. My PayPal is through that email. All right. I ain't thinking about Ready to Love. And look, I can't do it Sunday. And I meant to tell you that because I'm going to church Sunday. So if you want to do it tomorrow, I'm available tomorrow. If you want to do it Sunday evening, it's going to be tight because I'm not sure what time I'm getting home. But y'all can do it without me. And then y'all can do it without me. All right, let's read through this lawsuit. Okay. But my question is, Oprah no longer owns the majority of OWN. So why are you using Harpo Inc. and not, because isn't it Discovery? Doesn't the Discovery Channel own have the majority in OWN? Anyway, that's just a question. Let's get into it. All right. The defendant. Look. Oh, Jesus, let me read. Christy Smith, the plaintiff, by and through counsel, files this complaint against Discovery. Okay, Discovery Communicate. Never mind, y'all. Discovery is the first thing on this damn list. Don't worry about me. Discovery Communications own Harpo Inc., Kingdom Reign Entertainment LLC, and individuals Selena Johnson and Leticia Pearson. Don't worry about me, y'all. Discovery was right there in my damn face. I'm tripping. This action arises from the defendant's willful and unlawful misappropriation of the plaintiff's trademark, persona, lived story, professional identity, and charitable brand, including plaintiff's distinctive tagline, turning pain into purpose. Plaintiff originated and first used that mark on Mother's Day, May 14th of 2023, in commerce through her registered 501c3 charitable organization, the Omarion K. Walker Foundation, created after the tragic loss of her son. Plaintiff's brand is widely known and tied directly to her identity, nonprofit work, and public mission. Defendants, with full knowledge of the plaintiff and her work, intentionally appropriated her trademark and likeness to create and promote televised content for financial gain on the OWN television series BELLE Collective, including copying the plaintiff's charitable theme and tagline, portraying a cast member as a paralegal and a bondsman, which plaintiff has been for years, and recreating plaintiff's turning pain into purpose narrative for entertainment profit without consent, credit, or compensation. Now, this was filed on October the 20th. So this was filed 2 weeks ago? The defendants used the plaintiff's intellectual property and personal narrative to falsely suggest association, endorsement, sponsorship, and origin in violation of the Lanham Act, Mississippi common law, and plaintiff's rights to control her own identity and brand. Parties. Plaintiff Christy Smith is a resident of Hinds County, Mississippi. The defendant is a foreign business entity. Okay, they're just going through the different dependent. Okay, jurisdiction and venue. Okay, let's get into the facts. That's what we care about. And this is a short one, child. This lawsuit only 6 pages long. So we on page 3. We almost there. All right, we are almost there. Plaintiff founded the Omarion K. Walker Foundation on May the 14th of 2023. It was in Mother's Day, and began using the name and tagline "Turning Pain into Purpose and Commerce" immediately. Plaintiff's nonprofit provides programs, outreach, community events, and charitable initiatives centered on grief, trauma support, violence prevention, and healing. Plaintiff has continuously used the mark in commerce in public events, in marketing, in social media, and in connection with nonprofit services. Plaintiff's trademark search report dated October the 17th of 2025 shows the mark is available and distinctive. The plaintiff has priority through first and continued use. On January the 2025, plaintiff was contacted about a potential cast pitch for OWN's program, BELLE Collective. Rather than hire, credit, or collaborate with the plaintiff, defendants proceeded to incorporate plaintiff's identity, persona, storyline, tagline, and brand elements into televised content. The season includes a storyline featuring a character portrayed as both a paralegal and a bondsman, the plaintiff's real profession for years, and a foundation event centered on turning pain into purpose following the death of a loved one. The defendants acted knowingly, willfully, and for profit, causing consumer confusion and diluting plaintiff's identity and brand. Plaintiff has suffered emotional harm, reputational harm, loss of control over her likeness, damage to her brand, and commercial injury. I'm a little confusion, but we're going to keep going. Count 1, false designation of origin. Plaintiff realleges paragraphs 1 through 21 is fully set forth herein. The defendant's unauthorized use of the plaintiff's mark, identity, and brand in commerce constitutes a false designation of origin and unfair competition. Defendant's conduct was willful, intentional, and malicious, entitling plaintiff to injunctive relief, disgorgement of profit, damage attorney fees, and costs. Okay. Count 2, common law trademark infringement. Plaintiff realleges the plaintiff owns property rights on her mark through continuous and first use in commerce. Defendant's unauthorized use of the plaintiff's mark constitutes common law infringement under Mississippi law. Okay, girl. Count 3, misappropriation of likeness, right of publicity. Defendants use the plaintiff's persona, story, identity, and brand for commercial benefit without consent. Count 4, unjust enrichment. Plaintiff's profited from the plaintiff's identity and trademark without compensation to her. Count 5, civil conspiracy. Defendants acted in concert to misappropriate, exploit, publish, and profit from plaintiff's identity and trademark. Count 6, punitive damages against all defendants. Defendants acted willfully, wantonly, and recklessly in reckless disregard for plaintiff's rights, warranting punitive damages. Count 7, injunctive relief. Plaintiff seeks injunction prohibiting defendants from further use of her mark, brand, or likeness. And that's the end of it. And then that's just the cover. That's just a copy of the actual lawsuit. Y'all, I am confusion. Now, this what I feel like. Miss Christie, I feel like you should have focused on one thing, because the Leticia part of this makes no sense to me. Because what you're saying is they're trying to steal who you, like, your persona, by having somebody on the show who's a bail bondsman and a paralegal, and that's what you do. But I don't know about the paralegal part, but I know for a fact that Leticia has been a bail bondsman for years. And the reason why I know that she's been a bail bondsman for years is because when Scotty went to interview her the first time and she stood him up, she claimed that's why she stood him up, because she was handling a client that she was trying to bond out of jail, or she had to run down to the jail to take care of a client. That's how I first found out she was a bail bondsman. So that was years ago. That was like during season 1 of Bell Collective. We in season 6. So now I don't know if Leticia is still is a actual paralegal or not, but that's number 1. Number 2, how does that infringe upon you? Even if they got the idea from you, how does that infringe upon you? So I feel like the Leticia part of this, you should have left that over there, because it don't. Now, this situation with your nonprofit, that might have some teeth. I still feel like it's not strong. But if you're saying that they vetted you for the show, which means that they know you had a nonprofit, they know what your tagline was, they know what your nonprofit was all about, and rather than hire you for the show and let that be your storyline, you're saying that they basically stole it and gave it to Selena. So this is what I'm going to say, and I want to be sensitive because we are dealing with people's tragedies. Because Selena actually really had that happen to her, I still feel like it's a stretch. Like, I get it that you started a nonprofit after the death of your son, but Selena's son really was unalived. It's not like they made up that storyline. It's a real storyline. I mean, not storyline. It's a real event. So I could see you saying, well, they stole that from me. But girl, you don't even have it trademarked. You're basically saying, yeah, it's not trademarked, but I was using it first. And everybody knows I was using turning your pain into purpose first. I don't feel like it's that original. I feel like I've heard people use that before in other places that don't have shit to do with Bell Collective. So, right. It's not even a part of her storyline, Xavier. Like, most people, this was the first time we ever heard her even mention being a bail bondsman. But if Selena has a legit nonprofit, this is if Selena has a real nonprofit, it is a whole reach. I agree with you 100% on that one. But even if she doesn't have a real nonprofit, her story is still real. Her saying, I want to bring people together that have been victims of violence and talk about our stories and share how we work through that grief, and we're going to turn our pain into purpose. Baby, I still think you're reaching. Right. You know what I'm saying, Kim? Like, I still think you're reaching. Now, this is what I think happened. Y'all want me to tell y'all what I think happened? This is what I think happened. Girl, they didn't hire you. They reached out to you. They vetted you for the show. They might have tested you with a couple of people, and they decided that they wasn't going to use you. They wasn't going to use you. They went with somebody else, or they gave Selena. But again, I ain't gonna say they gave Selena, because again, Selena really did have this happen to her. They didn't make up a storyline, you know? And I honestly feel like that's what we're dealing with. I hate, sorry, not sorry. But girl, I feel like they were going to hire you and they decided not to. And now you mad. So you suing. This is some bullshit. I just, again, unless it's a smoking gun that you just didn't give it to us, I don't see, there's nothing here. I don't think there's anything here. And it flows with Selena's personality. Yeah. And that was a really nice event that Selena put on. I remember I said that one in my review. I said, this was a really nice event. You could tell that people outside of BELLE Collective came out, that people outside of BELLE Collective were on that panel sharing their stories. Like, that was a real event. That wasn't just an event that Selena put together for the cameras. That was a real event. Y'all know the difference between when these reality shows just put something together for the camera versus it's a real event. That was a real event. Child, right. Two geeks say, and the show ain't even all that to be suing. I have to agree with you on that one. She didn't get the call back, and now she mad. I agree. Well, Tracy, thank you for pulling the lawsuit, honey, even though it looked like it was some fugazi, child. It looked like it was some fugazi. Like, right, Marie's party, for example. She just threw that shit together, child. Because it'd be 8 people instead of 80. Exactly. Right. Why is she waiting until now to sue? I think she sued after that episode aired where they had the event for Selena's son. I feel like because October the 20th, that would have been around the time that it aired. The review is tomorrow. And Treese, are you still here? Treese, if you still here, drop down. The review is tomorrow. I talked to JB. It's going to be thank you, DB. It's going to be 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. And if Teresa's still here, I'm about to see if she want to come through. I'll send her a text though. She might. Sometimes she might have been doing a drive by. She just came in to say hi. There she go, baby. If you free tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we're going to be doing our Beyond the Gates wrap up for the week. Me and JB. So 1 o'clock. I know you might have other things you got going on, but if you are available. Kim, I did. I haven't done my review yet, but I watched it last night. So I'll probably record that at some point tomorrow. I will probably record that sometime tomorrow, but I did watch episode 9. Ooh, it was good. I can't wait to see what next week, because next week is the finale. And matter of fact, I'll talk to drop the link. I might drop through for a little bit. I saw you went live, but I hadn't finished watching all the episodes, so I didn't go in. Girl, you said what? You were live 3 hours? Child. Girl, bring your tail over there tomorrow. Unless if you with Lil Man, then I understand. What happened? Am I going to review Ready to Love? Girl, did you watch Force yet? I'm going to talk to Treese tomorrow. I also think, since Treese might come through tomorrow, me, Treese, and JB, we might talk about when we want to do, if we want to do a Reasonable Doubt review. If we want to do a Reasonable Doubt review, after episode 10 drops and we get a chance, so maybe next weekend. So here's the thing about Ready to Love. I did agree to do Ready to Love only because I only agreed to do Ready to Love for y'all. And that's real talk. Ask Treese. She can tell you. Treese will tell you I'm telling the truth. I only agreed because we know that y'all like seeing us y'all like seeing us, me and Shade in the City link up. Y'all like seeing our conversations and our banter and stuff. So we did agree to do it. Well, I did agree to do it. However, I'm busy on Sunday. Sunday morning, I'm busy. So either we're going to have to try to do it tomorrow. Or they're gonna have to do it without me for the first week, and I'll catch up next week. So, right, we're doing it for the people because I don't give a damn. And the trailer didn't make me want to give a damn. Trees, did you watch Force yet? I'm gonna try. I don't have the energy to watch it tonight. That's one of them shows I gotta be paying attention. So I probably won't watch it tonight. I'll probably watch it tomorrow. When I get off of here tonight, I'm gonna watch me a Christmas movie, and then I'm going to bed. As y'all can hear, I am still congested. I'm getting ready to drink me some more tea, and I'm going to bed. I'm gonna watch me one of my Christmas movies, and I'm not even gonna make it through the whole movie. You and Nels trying to get out of this week. Oh, Nels can't do it either this week. Aw. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Taurus, baby. It wasn't yours, and I know nobody wants to hear that shit, but been there and done that. No, I didn't get a new tree. Listen, I'm not getting a new tree. Carlton. Oh, for real? I did see that. No, I think I did see that. But Trees, I am ready for you to come over and help me start cleaning out this back room. Tree said she would help me clean out my back room, y'all. So I'm gonna take her up on that sometime in the next couple of weeks, child. We're gonna clean that room out. You said if we met your goal, you would get a tree. Well, we ain't met no goal. Y'all didn't meet the goal. Not Christmas is canceled. So let me get off here so I can go put this water. I'm about to boil this water, drink me some more tea, and go to bed, honey. All right. I will talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace.